But let me call Shepherd. Shepherd, your hand is up. Shepherd, please come in.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Ipo. I'm just going to raise a few issues, and I'll pose a question. First of all, the issue of dialogue. Yes, it's been happening. It's a very good move, but is it an intervention that the Zimbabwean government really cares about? I think it's very important for people to appreciate the nature of the beast that they're dealing with. Do they care? Pressure such as diplomatic pressure actually matters to a government that cares about its reputational standing. The Zimbabwean government, with all its shenanigans, doesn't seem to care. So what sort of pressure, what are the alternatives? What sort of pressure will the government of Zimbabwe actually perceive as pressure? Because with the current dialogues that are going on, they've had these dialogues. They know how to dance around them. They know how to parry the blows that come with those dialogues. So what are the other regional alternatives that can be put on the Zimbabwean government? Thank you.
Tendai, I want to deal with Shepherd's question. Tendai Biti. And then I'll call on to Tony Rila after that. Tendai, what are the alternatives, if any? Unmute yourself, Tendai.
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, so Shepherd makes very valid point that you are dealing with the rogue, cantankerous characters that they don't care at all. I mean, every single day, and this is not a metaphor. Every single day there's a predatory headline. Today it was doctors being conscripted. Yesterday they abducted Joanna Mamombe and put her in a mental institution. I mean, every single day. On Monday, we had a report from the NGOs, fantastic report that confirms what we've always been saying, that there's been systematic use of rape as a political weapon, the weaponization of rape, something unprecedented. Even apartheid in its worst form did not do that. So you are dealing with the rogues, you are dealing with the pure, undiluted thugs. So the point that Moleetsi makes, the point that Eleanor makes is fundamental. Number one, we need the agency of Zimbabweans to put pressure on the regime. The Constitution allows us to do that. The Constitution allows us to engage in civil disobedience. Let's boycott their businesses. Let's go on the streets, the kind of thing that in South Africa the UDF did in the fight against apartheid. The kind of thing we tried to do on the 31st of July, 2020. So Zimbabweans must provide the agency. We must confront the beast in the parameters allowed by our constitution. But we need a global advocacy. We need to build a universal movement against this regime. We did it with apartheid. A global advocacy program was built around apartheid, and the Zimbabwean Lives hashtag movement after the 31st of July showed that it can be, done. You had people that under ordinary circumstances would not know where Zimbabwe was on the map, coming to the fore, talking about Zimbabwe, tweeting about Zimbabwe. But as Eleanor says, it has to be coherent. There has to be a coherent demands. 30 years later, 40 years later, we need our own Harare Declaration, maybe call it the Soweto Declaration, on demands for change and reform in Zimbabwe, demands for change in protection of civil liberties in Zimbabwe, a Soweto Charter on protection on human and civil rights in Zimbabwe. The truth of the matter is that we're dealing with a securocratic state, the most complicated the most sophisticated dictatorship on the African continent. Robert Mugabe went, but it doesn't change anything. Emerson Mnangagwa will go, it will not change anything. You are dealing with a sophisticated regime oiled by the massive resources of Zimbabwe, operating in 8 or so commanding heights of corruption, oiled by incestuous relationship with the Republic of China, Belarus, Russia, and so forth. They've been at it at a long time, and they will not go. They will not reform themselves out of power. We have to be disruptive. We have to find new, innovative ways of confronting them. Otherwise, there will be another 40 years of suffering. We will come and we'll go, and the crisis will remain the same. And that simply is not good enough. So we have to be disruptive, and we have to find convergence. We have to provide the agency, but the international community can and should help us as well.
Thanks, Tendai.